At our defensive ends coach, Kyle Pope. Questions for Coach Pope? Go ahead, Kyle.
Your room looks completely different with so many new guys and portal guys. And just can you talk a little bit about just how you guys decided to make the room and how that competition has been this spring?
No, definitely. I think the biggest thing is when it goes to building a room, you want guys who gonna come in and produce. I think the biggest thing last year in the room, you didn't have a lot of experience, so we had to bring some experience into the room. We're bringing in experience and bringing in competition as well. So it looks different, but it also looks exciting and fun. And I'm excited about these guys so far in the spring and what they've been able to do, what they've been able to show, man. It's a good room. They're gelling well together. They're forming a bond, but also they're competing. And that's the most exciting part about it. Every guy in that room is competing, and I'm excited about it. There's no one of a kind or a guy that's similar to the other. Everybody brings something different, and that's what makes it exciting. So first it was to add experience, add depth. Now let's go have fun with it.
Rob?
Coach, when you're out recruiting defensive ends, how do you distinguish between who you think is going to be a good rush end or who's going to be a good strong side end?
No, definitely. I think the biggest thing, at the end of the day, recruiting them, I never can run away from the coaching. I understand I'm not looking at a guy who's a finished product when I see him. So I want to see the traits of what he brings to the table. Is he willing to use his hands, his pattern movements? Is he producing on his high school tape? Also, do you see violence? Because I'm always telling those guys, hey, the only way out is violence, no other way. So I want to be able to see those traits, those intangibles that you can build off of, because we know this program is going to get built off the guys in the room. Not the man that's standing in front of me coaching them, but the personnel that we have. So I want to be able to see those guys that can bring that to the table. And then also at the end of the day, I know it's great football in Georgia too, so I understand what we can get out of the state and the type of players we can get out of it, and that excites me. It really does.
Jarvis.
Coach, how do you teach violence?
I think for me, it's like when you say, how do you teach violence, at the end of the day, if that pup a bite, then I know he got a little something in there we can get him to go. So for me, it's just like, I want to see those guys, do they have an unwilling ability to run through somebody's face, play violent with their hands? Because that's one thing about it, like I said earlier, it's still at the end of the day, we're always going to answer anything with violence, anything playing with power. Because at the end of the day, it's like, look, I don't want any finesse guys in this room. We're going to talk toughness. That's what we hang our hat on. So finesse is what we live on. We're going to always live on violence, number one. So when it's teaching, it's everything we do. It's about detailing every drill and understanding it's a start, it's an action zone, and it's a finish. Understanding all of the pieces that comes together. And then when we go through recruiting, like you asked me, I want to be able to see if you're violent on a high school tape, if you're violent when we get you to camps, if you have that type of mentality, hey, look, you can succeed at Georgia Tech because we got a tough head football coach.
Garrett?
I mean, you talk about toughness and attacking, and you got an attack-style defense coming in with Coach Seymour. How has the transition been for you guys specifically?
Man, it's been great. I think Boogie does a heck of a job, man, letting us up front and playing attack style. I mean, up front with Boog, he wants to let the front eat, man, and I love that about him. And at the end of the day, we also understand that the personnel is what builds the scheme. And we're able to get some guys in here that can fit what we want to do, but also that fit the mindset of how we want to do things, and it allows us to put them in an attack style scheme. So, man, it's exciting. Boogie's a great one, man. I look forward to working with him even more.
Najeh?
Coach, I want to ask you about developing a couple of players, Noah Carter and then obviously Andre Fuller, and then just anybody that's kind of caught your eye this spring so far.
Man, I think all of those guys are working, just to speak on every one of them. A guy like Noah Carter, when I say very excited about him, because at the end of the day with Noah, you talk about a guy that was a receiver in high school. So you already see the speed, the movement patterns and things like that. But he'll go bite your face off if you need to as well. And that's what excites me about him. Like, he only knows one speed. He only knows one way of doing things. And that's what I love about him. It's a guy that just wanted the opportunity to go show what he can bring to the table, and he's getting that opportunity. Same thing with Andre Fuller. Played early as a freshman, so you see what he built off of. But now the challenge this spring, can we continue to build it? Same thing with A.J. Hoffler, with a Jordan Walker, with a Montre Bradford, with a Tajay McCoy. Like, all of these guys are guys who bring a specific tool to the table that we can work with. And, man, I'm excited about it, man. I'm very excited about that room. And I think, for me personally, the best I've ever felt about that room. Because now we built something really special, but now it's time to show that we can produce, we can play fast and violent, and we can go win some games with that room.
Kelly?
I ask you about two guys. using the term, look good getting off the bus. Jordan Walker and obviously Montre Bradford.
Yeah.
Like those two guys look like pro guys, like physically now.
Yeah.
Different guy, one you brought in with the portal, and then another guy you guys have been developing over the last few years.
Yeah.
You talk about those two guys?
Man, it's funny because I think of Montre when he came in, what he was might have been 220, 230, and he probably got tired of hearing me say, "No, we got to put this weight on." But he understood of what could his body turn into, but also how could that help his play of being able to build himself up. You're right. Both of them gonna step off the bus and heck, get them off the bus first because they look good. But I don't care how good they look, they better be ready to go produce. You know what I'm saying? But they're good-looking players. They're hard-nosed guys, and those guys work hard. But at the end of the day, they got to realize we got to go produce as well. It all look good, but we got to show that we can go get it done as well. But I love those guys. I love what they're doing, and we're going to continue to push with them.
Right.
You had two younger guys in Fuller and Boyd that played as true freshmen. How has that experience translated into how they're performing this spring?
Man, it translates really well. I mean, when you look at Andre Fuller, you look at the Jordan Boys of the world, like, it translates because at the end of the day, the best teacher is experience. And that's one thing they was able to build. So that's the beautiful part about it. It wasn't a guy that has no experience, doesn't know what it looked like, doesn't know what it feel like. The experience is the best teacher. So they've been able to get their feet wet in those situations. So seeing them this spring and seeing them last spring when they got here as true freshmen and stepping on the field is completely different. You're seeing different guys. Like they're meshing well, all right? They're fitting in well. They understand what it looks like and what's expected. And I think the biggest thing is expectation is the best superpower. And they know for me, the expectation is going to be here.
Talk about violence, coach. Talk about how good you feel about this group. But what are you hoping to see with the Auburn spring game next week, just from the defensive line group or the edge group of kind of what they can accomplish and what you want to see at the end of spring?
Man, I think the biggest thing as a group as a whole, whether it's the edges and the interior, man, I just want to see them finish. I want to see them finish. I think for us, the motto is fast and violent, but we got to finish. And finishing comes on the field right now, so when the season comes, we can finish those last 5 games. I think the biggest thing is just for us to finish. I want to see those guys playing fast. I want to see them playing relentless. I want to see them playing attack style, and I want to see them finishing, taking advantage of every opportunity. Finish, produce, and man, we can live with that.
Kelly?
What's it like you have so many bodies now? Like you guys kind of almost oversigned, I would say, like in terms of guys to find production. Just what's it like having such a big group now? You went from having barely any guys to practice with last year to having a full room with like more guys. You got more guys than you can rep against the linemen. Like, what is that like?
Man, it's a good problem to have. But the biggest thing that I love about it is it gives guys no choice but to compete every day. I think going into it last year, it's like, oh man, it's an inexperienced group with small numbers I got. But now, hey man, you miss a rep, then it may be a spot. If you miss a play, that may be a spot. If you miss a practice, that may be a spot. They understand that they're not just competing with the guys around them, but also with themselves. Because right now, like you said, the complete room is different. And when it's different, also the expectation is different. And they understand what it is that I want, what it is that I'm looking for, and they got to realize that we're going to be a deep room, but everybody can't be on the field at the same time. So who's going to produce, who's going to show up, and who's going to separate themselves? At the end of the day, I need guys to play meaningful football for Georgia Tech. And we're going to find the guys that can do that for sure.
Okay. We'll wrap up. We'll go Najeh and then Rob.
Coach, just want to ask a little about your relationship with obviously Coach Jed Simpson. I know you guys are practically conjoined together a little bit, Coach, but I know big year for you guys. I know you guys want to be a top unit in the country, not just the ACC. So just talk about the relationship, how you guys are just trying to build this to be one of the top units in the country.
Man, I think it's beautiful because not only is Jess a great man, but he's a great teacher. And I always pride myself on being a student, even while I'm a coach. So being able to learn from Jess, us being able to work with each other, man, it's amazing. But also I think the biggest part of it is me and Jess see eye to eye. Me and Jess understand what we want this room to look like. It's not divided. We're all together. Jess understands that he wants to be the best. He understands that I want to be the best also. So we collaborate in everything that we do. At the end of the day, we see things the same way. How we see things as far as whether it's how to make a tackle, how to hit a block, how to work a pass rush. Like we're on one accord. But also our guys see that. And when our guys see me and Jess work together to be on one accord, it allows them to be on the same accord. And for us, it's like we do everything together. We rush as a unit. We stop the run as a unit. And it's going to be led not just by myself, but also Simp. And man, we excited. And we're never going to let up. We're going to be the best we can be for those guys, man.
Awesome. Okay. Appreciate it, Coach.
Appreciate you,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you, Coach.